Traders, Kings and Pilgrims, the spread of Buddhism. Kanishka the Great. The Kushana kings were very powerful in northwest India. The most famous one was the fifth Kushana king, Kanishka the Great. He did a lot of work to spread Buddhism. Kanishka organized a Buddhist council where scholars met to discuss important matters. Ashvaghosha, a poet in Kanishka's court, started writing Buddha's story. They started writing about Buddha in Sanskrit. Mahayana Buddhism. This was a new form of Buddhism that developed. There were two things that were different from earlier. They started making Buddha statues. Bodhisattvas, enlightened people, started teaching the people instead of living all alone in isolation. Think and discuss. What were the two things that changed in Mahayana Buddhism? The spread of Buddhism. Buddhism spread to southern and western India too. Lots of caves were hollowed out for monks to live in. Many of these caves were built by kings and queens or by merchants and farmers. Buddhist caves. Many Buddhist caves were located on passes near the Western Ghats. On the Mumbai-Pune road, you can see a huge Buddhist cave at Karle. Buddhism outside India. The old form of Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, spread to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand and Indonesia. Buddhist pilgrims. The traders travelled long distances and in large groups. Sometimes pilgrims travelled with them. Pilgrims are travellers who go to holy places to pray. Three famous Chinese Buddhist pilgrims came to India long ago. Faxian came 1600 years ago. Xuanzang came 1400 years ago. I King came 1350 years ago. Faxian, Xuanzang. Why did these Buddhist pilgrims come to India? India was the land of the Buddha. The pilgrims wanted to visit his birthplace and the famous monasteries. They probably wanted to know more about Buddhism too. These pilgrims wrote a lot of things about their journey, the dangers, the monasteries, the kingdoms they visited. From their books, we get to know so much about that time. Buddhist universities. These pilgrims also spent some time at Nalanda in Bihar. There was a very famous university at Nalanda. It had a tough entrance examination and it was difficult to get admission. Think and discuss. Why did the Chinese Buddhist pilgrims want to come to India? Traders, kings and pilgrims, the Bhakti movement. Bhakti. Bhakti is a Sanskrit word. Bhakti means devotion. People started worshipping gods like Shiva and Vishnu. These worshippers were from all backgrounds, right from kings to untouchables. Those who followed Bhakti started worshipping a single god. The Bhakti followers didn't quite go for big yajnas or sacrifices. Artists started making beautiful images and statues of their idea of God. The statues and images of God were considered to be special. So, special places were made to keep these idols and pictures. These places were called temples. Saints. There were also many saints who taught people how to be kind to all living things and how to love God. They told the people not to find differences between themselves. They told the people that God considers all to be equal. Think and discuss. What were the main features of bhakti? Why do you think ordinary people were attracted to bhakti?